Hey guys. Yeah, so we got our next turn, turn 16. This was the turn that Max Verni and I agreed to attack. So let's see how it went. First of all, we found no magic sites. We didn't site search too much though. Okay, so this is the attack on the big farmland province, if we want to call it that. And we can see that went pretty well. We actually probably are causing more friendly fire with the archers than anything else. Yeah, I think our archers actually did. We lost 10 units, and I'm pretty sure most of this was from our own archers. Yeah, 2, 4, 2. Yeah, probably most of these were my own, killing my own undead. Which is comical, but annoying. But that's actually going to be a theme, and that's one of the things I kind of picked around was... we're gonna have pretty easy access to Aerofend when I get it. And Aerofend is pretty low level. I think it's... I forget. Okay, never mind. It's 6. I was thinking it was 5. But... So it's gonna be a little bit of a hike, but we're going enchantment anyway. So... This is gonna be a 6 spell if we want to combine our archers and our undead, which I think we want to. Next battle here, this is the important one. So this is the one that I was worried about, because if he PD dumps me, there's a chance I could lose it. I wasn't really worried about fighting in the Plains province, because it was just kind of normal indies. But here, he's going to have his, basically his own kind of indies. And their attack is going to suck, but it's going to be okay, because my Soulless, their attack also sucks. But they're going to be... I think they still would trade pretty well against Soulless, basically. And then I'm not really in Cold Dominion. You can see I've got 12 protection on my Ice Guard. So things could go south. One thing I want to see if it works is this is my little patch of Soulless that's designed to soak up javelins. So ideally they're far enough ahead where these guys javelin them. These are all afflicted too. I didn't really cherry pick out special afflictions, I just made sure I only put people up there that had some. Okay, that's working. So these guys are catching most of the javelins. And they have shields, so they are going to block some of them too. And now my boys come in. Now, if we look at it, we should have gotten, yeah, Unholy Power off. Can we click on one of you? Okay, so he's got 8 attack, which is actually higher than the attack these guys have. Now, these guys have 11 defense, though, but some of that defense is shield. So if we take the shield defense out, which is a parry value of 7, they actually only going to have like 4 defense? And if these guys hit hard enough that even if they hit the shield, there's a good chance they're going to kill them. Yeah, so you can see this guy just killed somebody, I believe. Okay. No, he didn't kill, but anyway, he hit pretty damn hard. Also, I didn't realize that these guys also get a repel, so, versus a lot of indies. Not against the spears, but a lot of them will be getting that repel check, because we're attacking too, because we're giants. And so that combined with Power of the Sepulchre is actually really nice. Well, you know, it's not bad. And we just, yeah, look at that. Hit for 37, 25. Yeah, we're just chopping them in half here. Now, we're going to take some losses, because, you know, it's soulless. But so far, we're trading pretty damn good. Okay. So that was good. So we lost 10. Now, this was not friendly fire. This was actually a fair amount of decent PD trading with me. Events, I'll give you a heads up. I've already looked at these, and they're freaking horrible. So this is annoying. This basically means that we have a bunch of heretics in this province, so it's going to stop our wonderful dominion from spreading. Kind of worse than an unrest event, and we lose our 2 candles, so fuck me. And we're not going to get the cold scales. Heavy snowfall blocked in a mountain road, minus 56 gold. What the fuck is going on? And then another sectarian movement. We took luck 3, guys. Where is our luck 3? What the fuck is going on? Game. I'm seriously reconsidering all of the advocating I did for luck 3. It is... Now, once we get, like, if we look... You know, we don't have luck, that's luck 2, that's luck 2. Okay, we have luck kind of getting spread out. Like, give me some frickin' luck events. So here's one of the provinces where it happened, and here's the other. The other bad bad news is that Satissa's Dominion is in here. So we need to push that shit out. We got diseased here from his Dominion. I was thinking it was a site. We're gonna go ahead and site search, and then we're gonna pull him back. There's nothing I can do really to save him. I don't really have disease healers or anything like that. Yeah, so... He's dead. Here, this person's not dead, but they'll be dead soon. We're building a temple, because we've got a fort coming up. But next turn we'll probably preach, because I need to get friendly Dominion in here. This was another site for the heretics, though, so potentially they'll get rid of this candle. And then we'll patrol them out. Maybe we patrol next turn instead of preach. That should catch them. I don't know if I want to catch them this turn. I think we'll position back a little bit. That way we'll kind of take the meat of the fighting. Oh yeah, well here we've got misfortune from this guy's Dominion. Here we've got misfortune from this guy's Dominion. So, this is neutral. I don't even know what the hell's going on here. This was, I mean, this was an event that gave me random enemy pretender Dominion, but so far it's neutral, so I don't really get that. But, once we get our Dominion spread over here, and we patrol out these heretics, maybe things will be good. So, coming down to the important war front, Nazmor has moved an army of Millites and Ulmish infantry here. Now, presumably, he saw my army and was like, maybe I'm about to get attacked. I don't have a nap with these people. And so, presumably, he's going to come kind of liberate over here. Or, presumably, he was coming to come take this. I expect he was thinking I might attack him, but I don't know. He's got, I think, about 10 or 20, maybe, Ulmish infantry inside. And if he moves his god, plus these guys here, there is a chance he could beat this army. Now, it's in darkness, so this is not a great place for him to make his kind of last stand. And, I mean... Some of these guys were better than Millites. Not really. I mean, this was 40. But it could be 90. It could be twice as many. I would take kind of a lot of losses, and then potentially I might fail in my storming of the capital. So what I've decided to do is a very conservative move. We're going to do 2 things. One is, these guys here... Oh, hello. These guys here are just going to reanimate Solus. I don't think we're going to get attacked. There's a fair amount of undead here, and then they can go join up in a siege somewhere later. But that'll be nice to have 30 more dudes. Now, what that means is that if I were to have these guys bring their undead down here, these wouldn't be very good undead, because they're not going to get Power of the Sepulchre. They'll just kind of be shitty versions. And he could bring people in here. So I think what I want to do is... take these guys, move down here, and then bring other kinds of reinforcements down this way. And I'm not exactly sure what that's going to be, but we'll figure it out. You know, maybe... We've got this guy coming. He's got... So this is a commander bringing some troops in from my capital, which... Put on him. So he's got room for 16 more. We've got 6 in the garrison. We're making 6 more. Maybe I have enough of these and I load up some more of these guys. Kind of feel like that's the play. And these guys, I think, are going to have a little better strength. Oh, these are 1.2. These are 1.4. It's probably a little better siege strength. They can come here and then bounce down here. Seems okay. But what that means then is we're gonna... If he does a big PD dump here, we could kind of get shat on a little bit. I think a PD dump here may not be a good move for him. Like, even if it wins, I mean, it would be okay, because it would repel these guys, but he's not going to be able to hold this. It's too far away from his capital. This turn, Max Verney took, I think, these two, but he may have taken these two. I'm not sure which ones. I think he took these two, so next turn he'll take here and here, and then turn after he'll take here and here, or here and here, probably. So, the other Nazmorian army is here, so presumably this Nazmorian army is going to come deal with Max Verney, and I'm going to have to deal with this one. But I may end up getting his cap. We'll see. It depends how quickly he moves, but if I doomstack here, I may just walk down after this and then take this. But I'm also not sure about that. But he does have Heat Dominion, so it's not ideal. So we'll have to figure it out. But the siege strength, like if we get rid of the giants, this is pretty weak in terms of the siege strength that I'm moving in. Like these guys are all, like if we say they're all 1 strength apiece, this would be like 30 siege strength. This would be, these guys are a little more. These are like 1.4 on average, and these are like 1.2. So if we say these are like 1.3 on average, then this is like 55 or something siege strength. So it's 55 plus 30, which is 85. And then these guys, I think, okay, they're 1.2. Yeah, so this would be like a 3 or 4 turn siege probably with the armies I have coming in. Plus I'm probably gonna take losses, so it's probably more than that. So I really need to think about moving in more dudes. Unfortunately, I don't really have... I've turned off Undead Chaff Reanimation until I get Construction 4, which is like 3 turns away. We're putting some Alquills down. I've got Alquills coming out every turn from this guy. I'm still waiting to get an Earth 2 from one of my Master Smiths. And if that doesn't happen, I'm going to be, you know, very sad. Yeah, here I'm building a temple and a giant palisade, so I guess I'll make scouts out of this one. Because I'm gonna need a lot of Jotun scouts. And I want to get my Dominion spread. So this is kind of doing 2 birds with 1 stone. I definitely need a temple here to kind of get my Dominion out. Yeah. We're site searching here. Now, the funny thing we have to talk about next, and this I think really should be like the theme of this episode, is how greedy this guy was. So, if we go back, you have to remember the last episode, and I think I talked about it a little bit, but we saw Firebirds in his capital, and we know that that means he went Conjuration 3, because I have Firebirds right in there, Conjuration 3. Now, you don't just get Conjuration 3, you have to choose that to be kind of your main research path. You're like, okay, great, like, we'll do that. If we look at his guys, though, like, the reason he went Conjuration 3 was to start... So this was kind of his plan. His plan was, I'm going to make these guys, I'm going to go around site searching, and then when I have all this gem income, we're going to use that, I'm going to make some of these, and we're going to make Firebirds. And then I'm going to have this great economy, and it's going to be awesome. And so, if he's making these guys and these guys, what it means he's not making is he's not making Rekatapa, which means he's not reanimating Long Dead. And he doesn't really have a unit here that strikes me. Maybe these guys? I mean, these guys are really good. But, you know, that strikes me as like, we're gonna hold the fort down against rushes. I mean, like, these guys are fine. It's a nice crossbow. But, yeah. And now, if we say, like, how can he use Conjuration? Okay, he can make size 3 fire elementals, check. but he doesn't have a ton of these. He could do Lamashtas with these guys, which is probably not a great idea. These guys could make fire elementals or air elementals or water, but they're really only going to make 1 or 2. And that's not always that good. These guys can't really use Conjuration 3. These guys can make size, like, if these guys might be able to make like 3 size 1 earth elementals. Or maybe more. Maybe these guys could make like 4. And he posted his gym income because he's like, I lost. But, I mean, that's not bad. He probably has like 1 of these, if any. So, he probably has like 3 of these maybe, I guess. Probably not many. It's going to be a very kludged together defense, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, we're going to get this and this, and then I'm probably going to come down here, and then I'll either make a move on his capital, which I kind of don't want to do. I kind of want to let... And I already told Max Fernie I'd let him. I definitely don't want to fight with Max Fernie. I'll see how he's feeling about taking the cap. If he wants to take it, he gets it. If he doesn't want to take it, I'm going to take this army, I'm going to steer it up, we're going to take all this. Okay, so that's that. Well, let me talk a little bit more about why it's so greedy. So he's like, I'm going to make a ton of these guys in Site Search, which doesn't add anything to early game military power. He went Conjuration 3, which is nice, but it's not going to save him in an early war. Like, Conjuration can be good, but, you know. Maybe if he had a ton of augurs and he could spam out fire elementals, that would be something like to defend a fort. But I am not expecting that anywhere I'm about to attack. Maybe in his capital, by the time we get there, he could have enough. But, like, if you had fire 2s and you wanted to go Conjuration, or you had air 2s, but, like, that's not really in the cards. So, Conjuration 3 is a very greedy move, primarily, I think, to get Firebirds. And, I mean, like, we're going for Conjuration 3, but we're doing it after some other stuff. I mean, Construction is greedy for me, by the way, but I'm counteracting that greed by reanimating a shit ton of undead. And now I've got, so this fort came up too. I'm getting a Nahuli here, getting some more of these guys. We've now got very solid military production. We're getting a bunch of these crossbowmen. This fort's 1 turn away, which will be fine. And then this fort is 1 turn away, which will be nice. And we're gonna have to put a lot of money into upgrading these, so I'm totally fine having 200 bucks sit around. I am bidding on the elephants for right here. They can either raid here and then come down here. I'm not sure exactly what they're gonna do, but probably be okay. But yeah, especially as we get this up, this will be just like another fort we can start really making a lot of undead in. I mean, not undead, units in. And in 3 turns, I'll be able to make Amulets of the Dead. And then I think... I'm not sure. We're gonna have some pretty intense undead production. I'm not sure how much, but definitely as many of these as I can make, which once I get a hammer, I'll be able to make 1 a turn. So I'm definitely going to at least have 1 thaumaturg a turn getting added to my research pile. I mean, my reanimation pile. But maybe more. Yeah. The other thing was, the player playing Yominam or whatever has asked if he could buy this from me. Now, his capital is here and my capital is here, so this is 1, 2 away from my capital. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4 away from his. And so I was like, why do you want it? And he's like, well, there's some provinces over here that haven't been claimed by Pompey, and he wants to get to them. And he wants to come through the throne. Well, first of all, I'm not excited about him getting this throne. Second of all, I'm less excited about him getting this province. And third of all, he actually has ways to get here through sailing and stuff. So, we'll see. But this is actually, this is my kind of least defended border. And if we look at him, he does have anakites, and these are the good anakites. These are the Shishay anakites, which go berserk. So, and he's got Hellic crossbow. These are 2 pretty good picks. He's got a pretty cool lineup. Ninjas are good. Magi are good. Magisters are pretty good. And then occultists are sick. They're really good. And Sorcerer of the Sands I'm less excited about. These guys I'm less excited about. But, you know, like these guys, they can still enter communions, do communion things. These guys are kind of cool. They can turn things into death gems. So presumably he's going to have some funny death stuff coming out. He's got, I think, too many of these expensive kind of niche chassis, which I don't know what his plans are for each of them, but Tyrants are good. So he's a concern for me, but not a huge concern. But if he attacks me, I mean, he would have to end his nap. The other thing I was thinking about recently is, by recently I mean like 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, he's basically boxed in. He's either going to be at war with these guys or at war with me. So the more I think about it, the more I think that a war with him is inevitable. Now, if he breaks through and he gets sailing over here, then he can potentially come through and fight this way, and then potentially he can walk through this way and fight. But I think more so, war with me is inevitable. So I think we're gonna take whatever spoils we get over here, and then immediately start preparing for a war with Yominam. And this gets to something that I think the more I play the game, and I've probably said this before, but the more I play the game, the more I feel like geography is extremely important in deciding who fights who. And it should be that way. You know, like if you're not taking geography into account, I think you're playing kind of suboptimally. Like, there's, in some ways, I think diplomacy's like obviously super important, and you want to make alliances and this, that, and the other. But the thing is, there's like what people say, but then there's the underlying facts behind diplomacy. You know, like the relative strength of nations. So like somebody can say they're being at peace with you, but they're way stronger than you, and you're a juicy target. So that peace doesn't mean much. Like, it may mean they don't attack you for the time being, but as time plays out and the better players are, it's really just a piece of paper. I was actually reading, I forget what it was. It was one of the founding fathers, and I can't remember which one, but they talked about law being pieces of paper, and like you can't expect pieces of paper to protect you. And that's basically how I feel about diplomacy. Like, sure, we need laws, we need pieces of paper, we need that kind of protection, like we have a non-aggression pact. But it's important you understand, like, the underlying facts behind why that piece of paper existed. You know, it was in our interest to be in an alliance. Or, you know, if you're relying on a law to protect you, like freedom of speech, you know, it's important to understand why that law exists. You know, like why we have freedom of speech. Because if some of those, like, assumptions that make it the reason for us to have that law, if those things change, then you don't, like, freedom of speech might not really be that well protected anymore. So anyway, like I guess what I'm saying is it's important to look at the undercurrents that beget the laws or the things that we have. So in diplomacy, geography is obviously a huge factor because, like, this guy has very limited people he can attack. So he's really either going to have to attack the United Alliance, or what are they called? United Nations Junior. He's either going to have to attack them or he's going to attack me. Or he can sit here and turtle. So, Like, having a nation where it's like a 50-50% chance they're going to attack you, I think it's good to just assume they're going to attack you. I think it's going to be very hard to have a durable alliance with these guys. Now, there's some things that in that war are not going to be super optimal. Like, his chaff he gets from these guys in some ways is going to be better than mine. So I think it's going to be important to time this with some certain key research. And I think the main research is going to be poison. So once I have foul vapors and I can toss that up, his slaves are going to be a liability. And all of my, or not all, I have either my dryads can cast it with a thistle mace. I can give them a communion matrix, have them join a communion, or I can get nature random scrotty, which depending on how many scrotty I make may be more or less likely to happen. Scrotty are kind of the easiest way. But that would basically mean getting to enchantment 5, which gives me skelly spam, foul vapors, and that would probably be a very good time to fight these guys. My Solus better be immune to poison. Yeah, okay, they are. So that, I think, is it. Worst thing that could happen this turn is he does a massive PD dump here and saves it. It's a bad move for him strategically, because he probably needs armies and resources to fight. Like, holding this is not going to save him the game, and ultimately he would just be killing, you know, a few turns of fort production and some mercs. And then it would also be a bad move, because if I decided to take all these guys and run into the PD, there's still a pretty good chance we would win. But if I do that, then there's a bigger chance I could lose here, or take higher losses here. Or, like, win the fight, but then don't storm the fort. And I want to take this fort now. So, oh, one thing we didn't talk about was the sites here. So, we've got a well of white water, which is 1 water gem. A gold deposit, which will be nice. It's going to make this a high-income province. And then we've got a cavern of glowing moss, which is a fire gem. And the fire gem's important because it's going to double my fire income. And it's going to mean firebirds are on the table for as soon as we get that researched. So that's nice. The other thing, and in my test games where I was playing against the AI, I focused on it harder, was getting some scrotty out early. And that was to get a blood economy going to get imps, imp familiars, which would help me in researching. But I'm not really feeling that right now. I do want to do it. Maybe we do it here. Maybe we do it in Nahuli and then we make Scrotty here. But that would be a lot later than that. Like, I would have already had 1 or 2 out in my test games, blood hunting. The thing is, I need these undead for fighting this war. So having them patrolling is going to reduce the amount that I get for fighting a war. You know, I guess obviously. We got corpses here we need to remember to get next turn. So we build the lab. Then we harvest corpses for a while. And then when the corpses are all gone, we probably site search. This guy's site searching here. Yeah. If this army dies, he's in trouble, because, like, if I were him, what I would do, this is what he should do, is he should say, because I've already said, like, I'm not necessarily after all of his stuff, I'm splitting it with these guys. What he should do is say, hey, I'll give you all of this, let me defend my cap with these guys, and with this army, and I'll have, like, a war down here. And then I would make peace with him for that. I'd be like, sure, yeah, give me all this, and I'll leave you alone. Like, that would be perfect for me. Now, the risk of doing that is that he tells... maybe I can say it in a way where it doesn't sound like I'm betraying Max Fernie. I mean, I'm not betraying Max Fernie, really. But I'm just saying, like... Yeah. Yeah, maybe I tell him that. I say, like, look, I'm going to take these 4. I'm going to take everything north of your cap. And if you aren't wedded to it, then you can go try to fight him and then fight me afterwards. But if you want to fight us both at the same time, you can do that too. But then, I mean, the risk is he could then tell that to Max Verney. Be like, I'm not doing it, but Lucid betrayed you. And that would erode, I think, the relationship we have. Which I don't know how good it is, but... I don't think he's threatening enough to me where it's worth it for me to risk jeopardizing this relationship by some kind of statecraft. Like, if I were more scared of him... But, like, I don't even think this army is going to cause more than, like, 20 or 30 attrition if he moves up to have a fight. And then if he didn't do that, and I don't go on top of his capital, then, you know, I think it's fine. I can't remember if I pinged this. I think I did. I need to go back and check my turn files. Because potentially we come here, we come here, we come here, we come here, we come here. Like this. Boom, boom, boom. Pompey's getting triple team too. I might should ask him if they need anything or if they want to trade gems. We'll go ahead and do that. I'll probably do it out of game too, but... Okay, so that's going to be our diplomat of Pompeii. But yeah, I think this is going pretty well. If I got, man, imagine if I got luck events. Like, God, we'd be doing so good. But get our Dominion over here. I think getting our Dominion spread is going to be an important little facet here. Once that happens, hopefully the luck will kind of turn my way some. So right now we're actually, let's actually pull it up. I bet you we're flatlined a little for Dominion. Yeah, look at this. Dominion is not going up, it's actually going, this was events, but like it's not really going up anyway. We'll see. I mean, we'll build a temple here in a lab and things will be good, but yeah, 2 free forts will be pretty sick. All right, guys, kind of rambling now. Hope you're enjoying. Take care.